Hello, Mayor, Mayor Pro Tem, council members, and members of the public. My name is Samantha Shapiro, and I'm a project manager in the city manager's office. Today, I will be discussing the item Determination of Future Uses of Sports Park and College Park. The City Council adopted the Parks and Recreation Master Plan on February 16, 2021, after 24 months of development, with significant opportunities for community input to develop a guide grounded in the diverse interests of the local community. The master plan development process provided 29 community meetings and events, including focus groups, community workshops, workshop in a box events, randomized and open surveys, presentations to the Parks, Recreation, and Community Services Commission, and advisory committee meetings with community stakeholders. Community members also had an opportunity to provide input into the master plan before it was adopted at 2 Parks, Recreation, and Community Services Commission meetings, 1 City Council committee meeting, and a full City Council meeting. The master plan was designed to guide decision-making for the future development and management of parks and recreation facilities for the city. It assessed all of the city's parks' physical amenities and recreation programs, identified service gaps and needs, and developed goals, strategies, and recommendations to address the identified gaps and needs. One of the recommendations identified in the master plan is to create a place for baseball and softball at Sports Park to help meet baseball and softball needs in the city and provide passive, flexible programming space in the expansive outfields. To address the soccer shortage in the city, the master plan recommended the development of soccer fields in the undeveloped space at College Park, primarily as practice fields to help alleviate the burden on the rest of Oxnard's parks and increase inventory for the soccer community. Staff received council approval of American Rescue Plan Act funds to conduct community outreach regarding the determination of future uses for Sports Park. Sports Park Idea Day was held on April 30th, 2022 at Sports Park South to gather community input on the future use of Sports Park. Local organizations and groups with an idea for the future use of Sports Park were invited to attend as exhibitors and share their ideas with residents. 10 organizations and groups participated as exhibitors at the event to share ideas, including League and Club Soccer, YMCA, baseball, BMX, softball, multi-use sports fields, ice rink and ice sports, roller sports, and passive park uses. A total of 164 attendees completed an on-site survey which asked them to rank their top 3 uses of the park and provide additional responses for other uses or amenities for Sports Park. This survey was only available on the day of the event. The top 3 uses for Sports Park from the on-site survey were League and Club Soccer with 150 votes, baseball with 94 votes, and softball with 69 votes. The top requested amenities for Sports Park from the survey included parking, restrooms, pool, and snack bar. The results of this survey are consistent with the findings of the master plan, which identified the need for additional soccer and baseball and softball fields in the city. Many of the top requested amenities are typical amenities that are included in sports complexes, including restrooms, snack bars, and parking. Residents will have access to a pool and many other water activities with the development of the South Oxnard Aquatic Center, estimated to be complete in 2025. The Parks and Recreation Master Plan identified various amenities and uses within each park. According to the master plan, there are 37 ball diamonds and 8 official soccer fields within the city. However, of the 37 ball diamonds identified in the master plan, 10 of those are single backstops located in a neighborhood park, which are used primarily for neighborhood use and not programmed for games or leagues. 4 of the ball diamonds are not currently programmed for baseball and softball use due to a lack of maintenance. This results in the availability of 13 baseball fields and 10 softball fields for game or league use. Though the master plan only identifies 8 official soccer fields, the Recreation Division currently has the ability to program 18 soccer fields between the official fields recognized in the master plan and multi-use field areas available. The table included in the staff report provides an inventory of locations where baseball, softball, and soccer fields are programmed and under the city's control. The map on the screen, also included as attachment 7 of the report packet, is an exhibit showing these locations. Developing Sports Park to be primarily programmed with baseball and softball facilities as identified in the master plan would provide functional consolidated playing facilities. Combining the votes received for softball and baseball results in the most votes at 163. Combining these 2 sports is consistent with the master plan to create a baseball and softball complex at Sports Park. With the L shape of Sports Park, baseball and softball layouts might not be the most effective fields to lay out, but it's anticipated that the 20 acres of land can accommodate up to 5 baseball and softball fields and support facilities. These support facilities could include parking, snack bar, restrooms, and more, which were the most requested amenities from the Sports Park Idea Day results. Staff created a rough draft exhibit shown on the screen showing a potential layout for baseball and softball fields at Sports Park. This layout, as well as others, would be explored should council support staff's recommendation. Another recommendation in the master plan is to address the high demand for and shortage of soccer fields with a number of strategies, one of which is consolidating soccer at College Park. The master plan suggests converting some of the undeveloped space at College Park into a soccer complex. The recommendation to consolidate soccer at College Park would provide additional practice fields to support the needs of the soccer community, while also relieving some of the burden on the rest of Oxnard's parks that are currently being used for practice, though they're not identified as such. The available space at College Park can accommodate up to 5 fields depending on the configuration. Staff created a rough draft exhibit showing a potential layout for additional soccer fields at College Park, taking into consideration the space being used for the South Oxnard Aquatic Center. Though the survey results from Sports Park Idea Day found a great deal of support for soccer fields at Sports Park, it is recommended that the additional soccer fields be developed at College Park to address the high demand and in alignment with the master plan. This will provide the soccer community with much needed additional playing space. On July 27, 2022, staff presented the Sports Park Community Feedback Survey results to the Parks, Recreation, and Community Services Commission at their regular meeting in council chambers. Commissioners, exhibitors from Sports Park Idea Day, neighborhood council chairs, and those who expressed interest in the event or were contacted about the event received an email invitation to the meeting with the published staff report. At the commission meeting, there were public comments received in support of the following uses at Sports Park: 8 in support of an ice skating rink, 1 supporting BMX, 1 for AYSO and soccer, and 1 for the YMCA. 8 public comments in support of an ice rink were received prior to the meeting. There were also public comments received requesting considerations for parking, restrooms, safety, maintenance, and the impact of neighborhoods for any future development. There were no comments received from the 4 Parks, Recreation, and Community Services commissioners present at the meeting. At the request of the West Village Neighborhood Council Chair, City staff provided a Sports Park update presentation on November 30th, 2022 via Zoom. There were 10 total attendees, inclusive of 3 city staff members and 3 Parks, Recreation, and Community Services commissioners. The West Village Chair raised concerns that the neighborhood interests were not represented in the master plan or council recommendation. As mentioned earlier in the presentation, community engagement for the master plan process was robust, including 29 community meetings with specific outreach to neighborhood councils for the community workshops. The Sports Park Idea Day process also engaged the neighborhood councils. Neighborhood council chairs were informed of the event via email and invited to set up a booth if they wished to. One of the 10 exhibitors at the event was the West Village Neighborhood Council. All exhibitors from the Sports Park Idea Day, as well as all neighborhood chairs, have been invited to participate in all public meetings since Sports Park Idea Day to provide input in the process, including the Parks, Recreation, Community Services Commission meeting, the City Council Committee meeting, and the upcoming City Council meeting. At this neighborhood council meeting, the West Village Chair also requested more outreach to be conducted in the West Village neighborhood and for the sports park design to provide more passive, varied opportunities. The Parks, Recreation, and Community Services commissioners present suggested the sports park design be modified to allow less baseball fields and increased open and green space. City staff encouraged all attendees to provide their comments and suggestions to the City Council at the upcoming meeting. American Rescue Plan Act funds in the amount of $1.5 million were designated for the purpose of sports park community outreach, study, and design to develop Sports Park. There are many parks capital improvement projects and ARPA projects already funded and in progress, so the timing of further study and design for Sports Park will need to be evaluated after the council makes a determination of the use for Sports Park. There is no funding associated with the development of Sports Park or College Park at this time. This item was presented to the Community Services, Public Safety, Housing, and Development Committee on October 25th, 2022. The committee members voted 2-1 to send this item to council for consideration with no recommendation. The committee members provided comments related to this item, which are summarized in the staff report. Community member public comments included a request for further outreach to be conducted in regards to community interest for the future use of sports park before the council makes a decision, inclusive of going back to the Parks, Recreation, and Community Services Commission, a request for an ice skating rink to be included in the design options for the future sports park, support for baseball fields at sports park, support for soccer fields at College Park, and a request for a BMX track to be incorporated into the design at College Park. The recommendation is that the City Council, based on the Parks and Recreation Master Plan and outcomes of Sports Park Idea Day, designate the future use at Sports Park to be a baseball and softball complex, and designate the future use at College Park to be a soccer complex, and that the City Council find its action is not subject to the California Environmental Quality Act pursuant to California Code of Regulations, Title 14, Chapter 3, Section 15060C2. This concludes my presentation. Staff will be available for questions at the City Council meeting on January 17th. Thank you for your time.